Section 10.6 is on using the four-step factoring method on three-term polynomials when the leading coefficient is not a 1 or not a prime number. So we're going to follow the very same steps that we always follow in factoring. We're going to go to our factoring map and we're going to look and see, is there a common factor to factor out? We're going to count terms, and if there's 3 terms, we can use the four-step factoring method. The first step is to multiply the first and last terms of the trinomial, so multiply a times c. The second step is to find the factors of a times c that add to the middle term, b. And then the third step is to rewrite the problem with the new factors. And the fourth step is to factor by grouping. So here's our example problem. 8x squared minus 14x minus 15. Is it possible for you to factor this by trial and error? Well, sure it is. It's just that 8's a composite number, and so it's going to be a lot of different iterations to factor it out, so we can use the four-step method. The very first step of the four-step method is to multiply the first term, a, which is 8, times the third term, c, which is negative 15. 8 times negative 15 is negative 120. The second step then is to find the factors of negative 20, the factors of AC, that add to b. b is negative 14. So what two numbers will do that? Well, right off the bat, I can tell you that since we get negative 120, I know that one of those factors will be positive and one of those factors will be negative, because a positive times a negative equals negative. They can't both be negative. That means the two factors that we're going to find are going to be 14 apart, and the negative one is going to be bigger. So we're looking for two numbers that multiply to negative 120 that are 14 apart. Sometimes it's easy to say, hey, if they're 14 apart, could that be negative 15 times positive 1? Because negative 15 plus 1 equals negative 14. But obviously, negative 15 times 1 doesn't equal negative 120. And we can just keep going up the row. We can say negative 16 times 2. Well, that's now only equal to negative 32. So we can keep moving up like that, and what we're going to find here is that the numbers that are 14 apart are 20 and 6. Negative 20 plus 6 equals negative 14. And negative 20 times 6 equals negative 120. So that's our second step. Our third step is to rewrite the problem with the new factors. So our 8x squared and our negative 15 stay the same, and the only thing that changes is the negative 14 turns into plus 6x minus 20x. Doesn't matter which order you put those in. And the fourth step is factor by grouping. We'll put parentheses around the first two terms. We'll put parentheses around the last two terms. We'll factor out the common factor out of the first two terms, which is 2x. We'll factor out the common factor out of the last two terms, which is a negative 5. And then we'll put brackets around and we'll factor again. We'll factor again. We'll factor out the 4x plus 3. And that'll leave us a 2x minus 5. And if we multiply all that back out, we're going to get 8x squared minus 14x minus 15. Last step is to make sure that you factor completely. And as we look at these two-term polynomials, there's no difference of squares, there's no difference of cubes, so we are done.